The first thing the alien cubs noticed about the human girl was that she was small. Not cub-small, but definitely smaller than the armored soldiers and towering diplomats who had arrived on the station before her. She walked beside the other humans, her boots making soft taps against the metal floor. A bright patch on her jacket marked her as a civilian. The cubs watched from behind their elder's legs, their fur bristling with a mix of curiosity and fear. Everyone knew humans were predators. They had forward-facing eyes, blunt teeth, and a history of surviving worlds that had tried very hard to kill them. The elders had warned them, do not approach, do not stare, do not touch. So, naturally, the cubs stared. Then, the girl stopped walking. She crouched down slowly, keeping her hands visible, her movements careful, almost like how one would approach a nervous animal. The human guards beside her tensed, ready for anything. But she just offered them a reassuring smile before reaching into her bag. The cubs let out a collective squeak and shuffled back. What was she pulling out? A weapon. The girl produced something yellow. It wasn't a weapon. It didn't hum, or glow, or blink with threatening lights. It was curved bright, and smelled faintly sweet, even from a distance. She began to peel it. The soft tearing sound made the cubs flinch. The elders hissed warnings in low, rumbling tones, but the girl seemed to ignore them. She broke off a small piece and set it gently on the floor between them. Then, she scooted backward and sat cross-legged, making herself even smaller. "I'm Lily," she said softly, tapping her own chest. "It's just fruit." The translation implants in the cub's ears hesitated for a moment, then rendered the word, harmless nourishment. The cubs stared at the strange yellow morsel. A long moment passed. Then, one cub, the smallest of the litter, with uneven stripes and oversized ears, dared to creep forward. His nose twitched, trying to decipher the new scent. It was irresistible. Sweet, warm. It smelled alive with energy. He cautiously poked the yellow piece with a claw. Nothing happened. He took a bolder step and licked it. His eyes went wide. A loud, surprised chirp escaped him, so piercing that the entire hall fell silent. In an instant, the cub snatched the fruit and devoured it, his little hands shaking, his tail whipping back and forth with pure joy. Seeing this, the other cubs surged forward, their fear completely forgotten. They crowded around the girl, squeaking and chattering excitedly. "She has more!" one of them squealed. "She brings sunshine food," cried another. The elders froze in absolute horror. The human guards instinctively reached for their weapons, unsure of how to react to the swarm of alien children, but Lily simply laughed. It was a warm, gentle sound that seemed to calm the air. She peeled another banana, then another. Soon, the floor around her was littered with peels and surrounded by happy, chattering cubs. Some were smearing the sweet fruit on their fur, while others were trying to share their pieces with their siblings. One cub, emboldened by the delicious treat, climbed right into Lily's lap without a hint of hesitation, curled up, and started purring. Finally, the elders found their voices. "Human," the matron of the clan said sharply, stepping forward with an air of authority. Her voice was stern. "Do you understand what you are doing?" Lily looked up another banana mid-peel in her hands. "Feeding kids?" she asked, genuinely confused. The matron's decorative neck frills flushed a deep blue, a clear sign of alarm. "These cubs are not bonded," she explained. "You are triggering a social imprint." Lily froze, the banana forgotten. "Oh," she said quietly. "Is that bad?" Before the matron could answer, the smallest cub, the first to taste the banana, raised his head from Lily's lap. He had banana mush smeared all over his chin. "She is ours now," he declared, with all the pride his small body could muster. Immediately, every other cub echoed the sentiment. "She is ours. Ours. She belongs to us." The hall erupted into chaos. Alien diplomats started shouting. The station's translators began to overload with a sudden flood of panicked communication. One of the human officers standing guard whispered, "Oh no," with a deep, heartfelt dread that suggested a massive diplomatic incident was unfolding. The matron stared at Lily, then at the horde of purring, banana-covered cubs, and then let out a long, weary sigh. This was not how the first contact protocols were supposed to go. "Human," she said, her tone much softer now. "You have unknowingly completed a cub-bond ritual that is older than our written history." Lily swallowed hard. "What does that mean?" she asked, her voice barely a whisper. The matron's expression softened even more, a hint of something like amusement in her eyes. "It means," she said, "that when these cubs grow, they will remember who fed them when they were afraid. They will remember who sat on the floor with them instead of towering above them." As if to emphasize her point, the cub in Lily's lap hugged her arm with all four of its limbs, refusing to let go. "It means," the matron finished, a sense of finality in her voice, "that your species has just gained allies who will never, ever forget it. An act of kindness." Slowly, the human guards relaxed, their hands moving away from their weapons. The tension in the hole began to dissipate, replaced by a quiet sense of wonder. Lily looked down at the cubs surrounding her and smiled. She broke the last banana into small, equal pieces and handed them out carefully, making sure everyone got a share. "Well," she said to no one in particular, "I guess I'll need to bring more snacks next time." Across the galaxy, official reports would later state that humanity's greatest diplomatic breakthrough did not begin with weapons, or treaties, or grand displays of power. It began with a child and a banana. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next adventure. See you next time.